Welcome to the Market Rundown. I'm Matt Bennett, grain marketing consultant with the channel, and I'm here to break down the quarterly stocks report. September quarterly stocks report that came out today is typically a pretty big one in that we essentially look at what were the carryout from estimates from last year, what was the carry in for this year, how much stocks of corn and beans did we end up with. And so my three takeaways, if you will, are going to be, first of all, for corn, what was the stocks number? It was actually fairly friendly. Second takeaway is going to be for the beans. It was a little bit on the other side of things. Actually, we had more stocks than what we thought that we were going to see. And then the third thing, we're just going to kind of talk about what it might mean for the markets moving forward, especially due to the fact we've got an October WASDE report coming up that will have to incorporate the numbers we saw today. So first of all, for corn, we came in with a 1.377, so 1.377 billion bushels at the end of the marketing year, which would be as of September 1st. And so what does that mean? The USDA had said in the September WASDE report that we were going to have 1.525 billion bushels. So, you're shaving 135, 140 million bushels off of what they said just a couple of weeks ago. And so, the thing is, when you start plugging in the fact that you've got a carry in, for this new marketing year of 135 less, all of a sudden you're looking at a carry out for this 2022-23 marketing year, that could get down under 1.1 billion bushels. So certainly you're looking at a very tight situation for corn, and it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out moving forward. Now, as far as soybeans were concerned, 274 million bushels is what they came up with. Now, actually, the trade guess was about 247, and the September number was 240. And yeah, you're not near as far off as what you were with corn, but you got to remember on a percentage basis, actually 274 going up 34 million bushels, is actually a pretty healthy jump, whenever you're looking at this soybean market. So what did the soybean market do? Well, right off the bat, it moved lower. At the same time, corn was moving higher, beans were moving lower. And as we speak, I'm coming to you while the markets are actually open. We're down 25 cents, and so market fluctuates throughout the day. But bottom line is, it was not viewed as a friendly report. And so the third thing to talk about is, how does this impact our markets whenever it's all said and done? Here's the thing. In October, you're going to have to come in and you're going to have to address the fact that you've got less stocks available to start the marketing year. Now, God forbid that we drop the corn yield once again for 2022 this fall, because if we do drop that, you could be getting perilously close to 1 billion bushels, which is simply not enough. At today's carryout, if you take that 135 off, you're actually looking at about 34 days of supply of corn as of next September 1st. If all these numbers come to pass, that's way too tight, and the market will not be comfortable with that. So most likely you have to see a price reaction. And then on soybeans, of course, you're going to actually add a few bushels, which could make for a tough report, because it sure seems like some of these early bean yields have been coming in consistently a little bit better than what producers were expecting. So I can see a couple of different reports coming up, here in October, and it's something we need to all be prepared for. So once again, this has been Matt Bennett with a market rundown. If you have any questions, feel free to post those. If you're not subscribing to the channel newsletter, you can do so on the channel website, or you can just leave them at the bottom of this video. But once again, this has been Matt Bennett, grain marketing consultant with the channel.